Welcome to Thoroughbred 360, insights, stories and strategy from the commercial world of thoroughbred racing with your host, Bruce Slade. Episode 10 of our podcast, our final one for the year. But before we all go away and enjoy that family time, that friendship time, we thought we'd better catch up on the last 7 days of racing events, performances that had a huge impact or had a significant impact on the commercial side of the business. The 2-year-olds, well, they're always so exciting, so intriguing. Really, it's like Christmas itself every time a 2-year-old race is on hand, particularly this time of year. You know, you just don't know what you're going to see. You might see a future star, plenty of big reputations going on the line. And of course, with Magic Millions, Crack a Million, English Millennium so close, and the Slipper, Blue Diamond on the horizon, we're starting to see some really nice horses out at the races, and that was very much the case on the weekend. The stallion with the biggest upshift on the weekend, no doubt, Russian Revolution. Lumbini, wow. Incredible performance in the debut race at the Gold Coast on Friday night. Myself and Tash were lucky enough to be there. She was in a very awkward position in running. Only saw daylight inside the last 200 metres, but once she did see daylight, she absolutely gapped them and looks like being top draw. We know the breeding can do it. Of course, her full sister is Russian Conquest, who ran second in the Magic Millions Tyrrell Classic a couple of seasons ago to Coolangatta. So we know this cross of genetics works. She's a beautiful physical, owned by Glentree Thoroughbreds, and she now heads to the Magic Millions Tyrrell Classic, his second favourite, $6. Then the very next day in New Zealand, Russian Revolution did it again with Lara Antipova for the Fortuna Syndications team, the Tiako Racing team. He did not touch her right up the running. The Eden and Jenny Harrington bred filly put huge gaps in them over there in New Zealand. Now, she is a Magic Millions graduate, but we are hearing she won't come over for the race. Instead, she'll stay back for the Matamata Breeders' Stakes and then onto those Group 1 races in New Zealand. Now, should come as no surprise, we've mentioned this before, Russian Revolution, he had that great start and then had those couple of quiet years in terms of support through stud. But this group of 2-year-olds were offers, increased stud fee to $65,000 plus GST in his 5th season. And then his next group of yearlings, they're offers $80,000 plus GSC service fee. Both years he was fully booked. Yeah, top quality mares. So nice to see his re-emergence. And I think it's fair to say with the horse, don't put him in a corner that, listen, only when he gets the top mares does he leave the top horses. It's what he's doing with those top mares that's important. If you have a look at both the fillies that won on the weekend, both extra smart, both are out of proper mares, like My Conquistador, the dam of Lumbini, a Group 1 winner, and the dam of Lara Antipova, a multiple city winner. But they've been to good stallions right through their careers. This is their 5th, 6th, 7th foals, and their best progeny are their Russian Revolution progeny. So I just love what Russian Revolution is doing when you give him a bit of quality. He can really add to it and put some nice topspin in terms of athletic ability. In Sydney, Warwoven. Wow, well, that combination, Bjorn Baker, Jim Clark, Cunningham Thoroughbreds and connections. They've got Paradoxium, they've got Maswingo, they've got this colt now. Gee whiz, they're having some run. Congratulations to them. Just incredible. Great people too, so nice to see them getting the results. That's their 3rd horse qualified for the Magic Millions. By sort of state, of course, that first crop sire over there at Cambridge Stud in New Zealand. The son of Snitzel doing a super job. 2 really smart 2-year-olds already produced. This guy out of a Muckfee mare who's the son of Dubawi. Actually a very good stallion. High stakes winners to runners ratio in Australasia. And he's out of a nice mare and was a very good looking yearling. Very good looking horse now. I can see 2 in the yard. So no surprise that he's sharp and he looks like a real live chance for the Magic Millions too. In Victoria, a son of Supedo as well. So again, team, this Supedo Unit 5 should not be underestimated. He was a beautiful yearling. I know with this pedigree page, he only made $80,000, selected and secured by Kieran Maher and their team. Congratulations, guys. A good style of horse, really well bought. He won with real authority on Saturday, I thought. And like I say, he's a likely type and he should not be underestimated heading towards the Magic Millions. He did it very, very well there on Saturday. Maschino side, a really smart two-year-old winner in the West. No sort of commercial impact or relevance to those two-year-old races over here just yet, but just a quick touch on Maschino. He's a horse that's been popping up on the radar a little bit. He started in really humble beginnings 10 years ago. His first crop was just 11 foals. Started off a really low base, a son of Redute's Choice out of a top and coster mare, Tani Gill, that many of you remember racing. He stands for just $10,000 over there in the West, but you know, he's a sire of Joker's Grin, that top sprinter in the West, the Quack winner this year. He's a sire of Machine Gun Gracie, who won the Oaks and Derby, pointing to his versatility. He's also the sire of Fabergino, you remember the top sprinter in the West who came out to the East and was very competitive in Group 1 races. So he's an older stallion who started at really humble beginnings, doing a great job. He's running at 5% stakes winners to runners, and like I say, off a very low opportunity base, so he's a stallion to watch, particularly if you are based in the West. Now, before we close off on the two-year-old race, I just wanted to say that spectacle of night racing on the Gold Coast is really special. That packed crowd there on Friday night, they have the light show, the music, the guy with the lit up saxophone playing songs to the crowd who are just in jovial spirits, particularly this time of year. Lots of work functions on. It is a really, really great event. It's an awesome experience for owners, for trainers, for all connections, and it's something to really build on and something that Gold Coast should be really proud of. We're very much looking forward to those night races sort of building out. I think there's maybe only 3 at the moment that are sort of in place, but hopefully that can really build out and become a really big feature of racing in the Gold Coast for Queensland trainers, Queensland owners, and interstate ones too, of course. Onto the 3-year-olds. Well, speaking of night racing, the Sunlight race, the $3 million slot race, will be raced on the 10th of January in the prelude to the Magic Millions sales. It is going to be a great spectacle, like I've just said. It's a night race, meaning all the industry participants from around Australia are going to be there. Light show, DJ, I think they've got a sneaky sound system playing afterwards. It's going to be a great event, and delighted to be involved in a slot with Gay and Adrian Bott, Gay Waterhouse Racing, of course, have a slot, and delighted to help them secure Grafterburners for their slot in 2026. Of course, secured him at the beginning of last week. It was nice to see him win so well on Saturday in the Gold Edition Plate, trained by Kelly Schweida. He was super confident going in. We thought he ran really well, and he's a favourite now, $4 favourite for the Sunlight. A hot tempo there where he can settle back and chase a hot speed. He should be really, really hard to beat. Also in the 3-year-old events in Queensland on Saturday, Eagle Farm hosted the Grand Prix Stakes. Guess who? Snitzel, the Quinella. This horse, Matias, trained by Gerald Ryan, of course trained Snitzel himself, had so much success with Snitzel as well. Think of the likes of Snitzeland, for instance, and of course now training in partnership with Sterling Alexu. So well done to those guys. Also big congratulations to Ron and Judy Wanderless, Queensland based, of course. They put so much into racing. Great to see their colours up in a feature race on a really nice horse. Interestingly, he is bred by Tauranga Farm, was offered by Kenmore as a yearling, consigned by Kenmore Lodge, and that partnership, wow, well, they're having a big season. I mean, that Tauranga bred Kenmore consigned partnership responsible for Planet Red, who was huge in the Guineas, of course, the Group 1 Guineas this year. Looks like a proper Group 1 horse for Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. They also bred and sold Panova, that top class filly, for Ricky Serace Jr., the B2B Thoroughbreds crew, and Chris Waller. She was super smart, winning stakes races in Sydney and Flemington this spring. And now Matias. So hats off. Can breed one, Stewie Ramsey, Johnny Ramsey, the Ramsey family, and can prepare one, Cameron and Kelly Bond. Well done, team. Finally, have to mention Plaintiff for John Camilleri and those famous colours of his, trained by Michael Friedman, a horse that was selected and secured by James Harron for Mr. Camilleri. She has now won 3 from 3, just going through her grades beautifully. Won again there, up in grade, up in distance on Saturday. Very, very hard to do. She's a $2.2 million yearling, beautiful, beautiful filly by Zoo Staff from Prompt Response. Looks like an absolute dead set stakes winner in the making. Pedigree-wise, I suppose the interesting points she's very closely inbred to Redute's Choice and Costa de Lago. So she's actually 3x3 to those stallions. So on the top side, Costa over Redute's Choice, and the bottom half of the pedigree, Redute's Choice over Costa. So that's sort of mirroring in the pedigree, working again there for that filly, and a filly to watch for going forward, watch out for if you're running into her. Some quick points on the older horses. Rockribbed by Night of Thunder. I thought he was interesting for Tony Golan, the Loughney on Saturday. Obviously an older horse, obviously a stallion that doesn't stand here any longer, but the thing is with Night of Thunder, he is available Southern Hemisphere time for Australasian breeders who have mares based in the north, who have mares secured in the north that they're looking at bringing down in foal Southern Hemisphere time. Night of Thunder, I think he's beautifully priced up there. I think he's an absolute top class sire from limited opportunities here in Australia. He runs at over 10% stakes winners to runners for those few seasons he stood here. In the UK, of course, crowned champion sire for the first time in the 2025 year. So if you do have horses up there, Night of Thunder might be a horse you might consider for your mares. Physically, I do believe he is a horse you have to be a bit careful mating to. He is a thick-set Dubawi style of horse, and he does, as I understand it, suit a mare with a bit of scope, a bit of athleticism as well. Finally, just a shout out to my old mate Fiorente, of course, a very, very special horse for myself, for Gay and Adrian. A horse that, of course, won the Melbourne Cup, went to stud, a super classy racehorse and a super classy stallion. Nice to see him get a group winner there in the Ted Van Heapston Perth on Saturday with Apulia, trained by the Lindsay Park team, heading towards the Perth Cup now. Fantastic for Fiorente. He has passed now, but leaving a legacy on the racetrack as a sire, and I'm sure that'll continue through his daughters going forward too. Finally, on behalf of Tash and I, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. I hope you pick up some little things out of here that bring some value to your own commercial thoroughbred businesses and interests. We are going to take a little break here now. We're going to come back in the second week of January. In the meantime, we'll be spending quality time with friends, with family over this incredible time of the year. We hope you guys all have a very safe, a very Merry Christmas, a really Happy New Year, and we look forward to talking and seeing you all again in 2026.